So today, we will share some relative informations and insights in protecting critical infrastructure. To be exact, is in terms of OT and ICS, and we will also discuss and share some real-life event scenarios involving OT and ICS technologies. Okay, so without further ado, this is just a representation of this year's Q2. This involves a number of vulnerabilities, specifically to OT products. So as you can see, as being the number one is in terms of critical manufacturing. So it has the top number of vulnerabilities in terms of critical infrastructure with their respective sectors. So it was observed by our research and intelligence lab, so by CIBEL, followed by the energy, the water, and the concessionaires, transportations, so on and so forth. So it was just stated this Q2 of this year, 2024. So these are some of the vulnerabilities counts in terms of OT is concerned. And then this is some of the vulnerabilities overview. So with the same year and same quarter, we've detected 38 OEM vendors with critical vulnerabilities involving ICS. So as you can see it here, being the top or the highest is Siemens, and then the rest, which we found from high, medium to low vulnerabilities impacting or concerning ICS components. And then some vulnerable ICS assets in terms of critical infrastructures based on different sectors. So being the top is the operation system, which is 24%. As you can see it here, followed by the field controller. So that includes RTU, PLC, IAD, and IoT. And then for the third one, so it's control system. So mainly this includes the DCS, SCADA systems, BMS or the building management systems under the 17%. So these three are the major chunk of ICS platforms which has the most number of vulnerabilities which the threat actors are trying to penetrate and to attack. And then the next is relatively to the telco industry. So that includes switch, wireless access points, router gateways, firewalls, remote access, and different processors related to communications in terms of transmitting data or signal. And then next is the physical access control. So that includes CCTV, which is relatively to the IoT, which is in 8%. And then the human-machine interface, or the HMI, which is in the 7%. And then followed by some of the actuators, converters, sensors related to IoT, which is in the 4%. And then data historian, still part of the vulnerable ICS in terms of assets. And then being the lowest is the engineering workstations and the OPC servers at 1%. So just want to share, being a threat intelligence platform, so we're able to capture the top 5 threat actors who are trying to penetrate the critical infrastructure, not only the OT and the ICS platforms or devices. So as you can see, this covers the different parts of the globe, not only the ASEAN or the other regions. Okay, so being the top one is Lockbit. So I know most of us are familiar to these threat actors, followed by Play, Ransom Hub, INC, and Blackpasta. So we all know that the past days, the past weeks, attacking from the both government and public sector of our nation is very rampant. So in order for us to fully protect and ensure business continuity to our nations, to our organizations, not only in the sense of ICS and OT technologies, we must have the full visibility not only what's happening from our internal, but especially what's on the external. So primarily from the dark and the deep web. Okay, so these are the samples of the top 5 threat actors targeting critical infrastructure. So that includes ICS and OT technologies. And then some highlights in terms of ransomware attacks. So Philippines is one of the targets of the threat actors in terms of ransomwares, not only in the field of government, whether you are in the BFSI, whether you are in the manufacturing, regardless of the industries, Philippines is one of the targeted countries in the Southeast Asian nation. So here are some of the ransomware attacks in the critical infrastructure for this year, Q2 of 2024. So as you can see, the topmost is the construction, being the top targeted attacks by the threat actors in the Philippines, followed by the manufacturing and the healthcare. So as we may know, the past days, one of the prominent and one of the top hospitals here in the Philippines have been breached and compromised. So that involves patient records, employee email addresses, and other PII details. Okay? And then followed by the IT and ITES, then transportation and logistics, and still BFSI, still being considered by the threat actors in penetrating critical infrastructure. Because nowadays, as the technology evolves, so most of in the healthcare industries, hospitals are already adopting and start using OT and ICS technologies. And then, of course, energy and utilities, technologies, even food and beverages. So it's still one of the targets of the threat actors. And then, of course, pharmaceutical and biotechnology, still in the picture. Same with telco. So yun nga, ika nga hindi ligtas si telco in terms of ransomware attacks on the critical infrastructure. Then chemicals, and then followed by the aerospace and defense. And then some of the attacks observed not only specifically to the Philippines, but by country. So as you can see, medyo maliit lang. So Philippines has 19 attacks observed for this year in terms of threat actors penetrating critical infrastructure. So as you can see, still in the number 1, which is United States of America, as always, followed by, sometimes it's China, sometimes it's US, so papalitan lang sila in terms of number of attacks on the critical infrastructure. And then this is the geolocations in terms of number of accounts on the critical infrastructure. And then we're also able to determine the attacker source IP. So majority of the threat actors are known attackers. So they are known to be an attacker on the critical infrastructure, not only to the ICS and OT landscape or technologies. And then followed by the suspicious. So this includes suspicious IPs, malicious file hashes, and everything. And then some of it are just mass scanners. So these are the 3 components or pillars on how we distinguish attacker source IP in terms of reputation. And then on top of the threat actor, we just also want to share some top 10 attacker IPs and ASN. So why we are giving this or showing this to you, of course, for you to make awareness on whose IPs to watch out, whose IPs to look for, who's the threat actor, we need to thoroughly monitor and observe. So this one of the list of source IPs and number of attacks counts performed by each respective source IPs. And then on the lower part, so this includes the ASN details with the number of counts per ASN and ASN number. So I know most of us are familiar with this AS numbers and ASN. So some of it, maybe we're using these technologies or platforms, okay? And then one of the most exciting part of this session is the key active threat actors. So this is the key active threat actors penetrating Philippines. So that includes state-sponsored threat actor. So as you can see, medyo marami China. So APT-41, if some of us familiar, Mission 2025, APT-41, conducted by China. So one of the mission is to target and penetrate the Southeast Asian region. So that includes Philippines. So as of today, this year, Q1 and Q2 of this year, 2024, these are some of the top threat actors trying to penetrate our country in terms of critical infrastructure is concerned. Okay, so in terms of how we monitor the threat actors, so we can able to capture their aliases, malware use families, their IOCs, TTPs, even the entire MITRE ATT&CK framework of each threat actor. So this is how comprehensive are in how we monitor the different or the active threat actors. Okay, so real life events. So just one of some highlights, as you can see it here. Starting from April to June 2024. So April of this year, so it was the threat actor behind this Blackjack. So they hacked a Ukrainian Moscow water concessionaire. So this activity is due to the recent Ukraine and Russia war. So they compromised the water concessionaire's critical infrastructure, so which includes water, sewage, and communication channels. Okay, and then this May of this year, so it was backed by Gijon. So they are trying to attack the SCADA systems of one of the player in energy plant in Spain. And then with the same year, so very new, June of 2024. So Synovis. So Synovis is a one of medical or blood testing company in Europe. So the attackers is trying to attack the critical infrastructure of Synovis. And then same year, so still a SCADA system. So as you can see it here, so they're targeting the IEC 104 or the Modbus. So all of these real life incidents or activities, so this includes cyber attacks from different threat actors are very fresh, we can say. So it's just starting April up to June of this year. Okay. And then some of the attacks on the manufacturing sector. So as you can see it here, so most of the threat actors are trying to penetrate port 102, 502, and 44818 from the manufacturing sector, which port 102 is the S7 communications, and then port 502 is for the Modbus protocol. And then 44818 is for the Ethernet IP for use for the ICS protocols. So these are some of the top attacks been made by different threat actors involving the manufacturing sector. And then some attacks or top real-life event scenarios involving the oil and gas sector. So this is still the IEC via port 2404. So it's also a breach. So it was detected by our own global sensor intelligence. So we have 300 plus different network sensors scattered from the different parts of the globe. So we're not limited to the Southeast Asian region. So we're covering 90% of the cybercrime activities from different parts of the globe. Okay. So still in the energy sector, so it's still port 2404 and 1025. So the 1025 is used to simulate smart meters. So relatively sa mga dams, water concessionaires natin. Okay? And then of course, in order to protect our critical infrastructures, not only the ICS and the OT technologies, we must have the full visibility what's happening from the outside world. especially from the dark and deep web. Who's the threat actor trying to penetrate us, trying to penetrate our nations or organizations. So with all of these use cases, so we can have the full visibility in terms of pre-breach, validation, and during breach. So these are the pillars that can help our nations to be more protected and to ensure business continuity. Okay? So just want to share some of the industry recognitions and community contributions of our companies in terms of Gartners and the different reputable cybersecurity organizations available in the market. Okay, so if you want to have a copy of our report, so please feel free to reach out to us and contact us to know more our solutions further. And again, thank you everyone for your time and for coming, and God bless you. Thank you.